everybody. Happy Friday evening. I hope everybody had a great week and having a great start to their weekend. Today we'll talk about my favorite topic, Russia. So everybody knows what happened on Wednesday, January the 6th in Washington, D.C. and how the Capitol was stormed and 4 people died. However, I'm not here to talk about that specifically. I'm here to talk about something related to Russia. So very interesting information came out of Russia. Apparently Facebook and Instagram suspended Trump's account and restricted Trump's account until Biden's inauguration, which is January 21st. Therefore, he cannot use his accounts until then for inciting violence, and Democrats are trying really hard to get Trump impeached for inciting violence because he's the one who actually said to come to the Capitol. And a lot of people took it literally. A lot of people in different groups like Joe Biden, now my president, Facebook groups that has over 1.7 million, took it actually literally and got bused to the capital of US. Nevertheless, so what does Russia has to do with it? Russia does not have anything to do as far as the storming of the Capitol is concerned, even though this information started to appear and different people started to point fingers in Russia and Iran and etc. However, as much as Russia doesn't like US and likes to spin propaganda and cause trolling and social engineering propaganda, as far as the Capitol situation, that was not exactly Russia. But nevertheless, what does Russia have to do with all of it? Apparently Russia now offered United States President Donald Trump, because he's still a president until next few weeks, to create a social media profile on Russian social media platform called Kontakte, which is equivalent to the US Facebook. And apparently Trump did not decline. He has not created profile as of yet, but he has not declined. And there's even more interesting information coming out of Russia. Apparently, in 2016, Trump's camp had discussions with Kontakte representatives about creating a social media profile on the Russian platform. That information has been confirmed, and this information even confirmed by Russian opposition. Everybody seems in unison with that statement that just came out. So it's not just pro-Kremlin propaganda that's coming out about that profile integration. That's actually even opposition bloggers in Russia are stating the same too. So it's not unconfirmed information. And apparently that was supposed to happen, but nevertheless, when Trump was accused of colluding with Russia, and there was massive investigation launched, which obviously did not net in any charges against him, nevertheless, his camp stopped talking about it and the profile never materialized. However, what is interesting, a lot of hardcore Trump lobbyists, or if you want to put it, supporters, do have profiles Kontakte. A lot of them, for example, like Jake Sokvik, who is very big on defending Trump and everything like that, who is one of his active social media individuals, and a few others, because actually Jake Sokvik's wife is actually Russian. So, and it makes me wonder, and it actually makes me very interested to know, because even I myself do not have profiles on Russian social media. And the reason behind that, and I'll tell you why. Number one, in order to register on Russian social media site, you have to send in a copy of identification and your phone number. It cannot be a prepaid number. It has to be a phone number registered to you, and everybody has to be verified prior to the account being submitted. So then my question becomes, when someone, especially actively involved in political lobby in the US, gets an account there and has an account there, that means that they would have actually had to submit their passports or another American identification, and of course it goes to the Russian government and it's stored on Russian servers. So wouldn't they think that that actually compromises them in a way that if anything happens, their IDs could be used, they could be duplicated, fake passports could be created, not them doing it, but for Russia, and use it against decoys and other people? That could be one example of this. Another example is that everything is stored on Russian servers. So therefore, depending, like Facebook, for example, when you have a Facebook app, it runs behind and collects all kinds of other information. And this is why Facebook has been accused of having a lot of issues, and Facebook also owns Instagram. But nevertheless, in the case of Russia, it is stored, it is analyzed, and Russia is still more of a totalitarian type of country. So this is actually quite a few concerns, and I obviously haven't searched every lobbyist that pro-Trump on Russian social media sites because number one, I do not want to register profile. Number two, I only seen the public profiles that were readily available. I'm sure there's much more, and it is a security compromise. And I think there should be something done in this case, even though America is a free country, and I believe in freedom of choice. When you register profiles on foreign social media sites like Russian, that actually monitors everything, tracks everything, has draconian verification processes in order to gather information, especially Russia is not a friend to America. It is very clear, Russia is not. Russia has its own geopolitical interests, Russia has its own agenda, Russia has been caught in a lot of cyber operations, a lot of cyber warfare, so providing them with any additional personal information, especially people like that who actually met Trump and had affiliations, and I'm not saying Jake Soswick, was involved in actually working for Trump, but what I'm saying is he had a lot of connections, so that means if he was posting anything or using Russian social medias, they obtained all of that and other people's possible information, and you don't know what other spyware could be running behind that site. I'm not saying if Kentucky does or doesn't. I do not know the system, but all I know is that it's heavily monitored and this is Russia we're dealing with. And I think at the end of the day, it is a concern and everybody should watch and people should understand what is actually happening because the next type of trajectory is cyber warfare. The next situation is mostly now done in the cyberspace. Majority of social engineering propaganda is done in the cyberspace. So nevertheless, I would love to know what everybody thinks about this. Please click like, please subscribe to my channel. You can also read my articles under Christina Kitova at communalnews.com. Also, I do radio guest correspondent too every Wednesday on Key West radio station. I will leave the link below for that too. And it is news. And I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Thank you for watching. And I hope everybody has great the rest of their weekend, of course. Thanks again.